Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm your public tutor. Today we're going to talk about simplifying expressions and collecting like terms. Some of them are different, some of them are the same. We're going to figure it out together. Welcome back everyone. So today, as I said, we're going to speak about collecting like terms and simplifying expressions. Before we do that, I want to lay some basic foundation and talk about the idea of a term. So what is a term? So I'll give you a couple of examples. Say you have 3k plus 5. I said k as in... So in 3k plus 5, we'll have two terms. We have the term of 3 multiplied with a k and the 5 on its own. A term basically is something that's been separated by something else by the sign of a function. That might be addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. So on 2k plus 5 we have the term 2k, 2 multiplied with k, and the 5. Again, they're separated with a plus. A different example might be y minus 3. On this example, again, we have two terms. We have the y, which is an unknown value or an unknown, to connect that with the previous knowledge on lesson number 2, and the 5. Again, they've been separated by the subtraction, the minus. So remember those unknown values we've been talking about non-stop. Sometimes we call them variables. Why? Because they can vary, they can be something else. So remember, variable comes from the word vary, which means there's a wide variety. So the idea is, say, x or y in an equation or an expression can be a multitude of different numbers, so it's a number that varies, so we call them variables. I know it seems like we've gone around in a circle with that, but just in case you see it anywhere written down, I don't want it to confuse you, so I'm just giving you the gist before you see it. So, moving on. So let's talk about collecting like terms. We're gonna do a few examples together. Let's start with something very, very simple to make sure we understand it, and then we're gonna move on to more complicated ideas and more complicated expressions, maybe even equations. We'll see. So I'm gonna put an image now on the screen. Let's talk about fruit. And the reason we're talking about fruit is because it makes things a little less complicated. So let's say we have 2 apples plus 3 apples, and someone else has 4 bananas plus 5 bananas. If we were to put all the fruit together, how much fruit would we have? So that's the basic idea when you see an expression like this that has unknown values. In this case, we have changed the unknown value from an A and a B to an apple and a banana, so it's easier to comprehend. So what would you do? See which terms are alike. So you're looking at the apples as an entity and the bananas as an entity, the A's and the B's. So you will simply add the apple numbers, so 2 apples plus 3 apples, 5 apples, and you will add the bananas separately and on their own. 4 bananas plus 5 bananas equals 9 bananas. So if you were to just get rid of the idea of the fruit and just keep the first letter, which is your variable or your unknown value, to connect it with the previous knowledge, what will you get? You will have the 2 plus 3a equals 5a, 4b plus 5b equals 9b, and that's just it. So I hope everybody's on the same page, and I hope everybody has a bit of an understanding, not just about fruit, but how we add and subtract, divide, or maybe even multiply the different values. They just follow the simple guidelines of the arithmetic, and we will see more examples as we go on in this video. So the next one has no fruit in it, it just has the variables, but keep the idea of the fruit in the back of your head. In any time you get a bit confused, just bring the idea of how many apples do I have, how many bananas do I have, and you do the separate functions for those variables or for those fruit, whatever makes it easier for you. So the next example we have, I'm going to put it on the screen now. Let's have a look at an example that's a bit more complicated and has a few combinations of letters, just to make sure we can deal with more complicated expressions. So I'm going to put it on the screen. 7a plus 2a squared plus 6ab minus 3 minus 9a plus 8. So this example has a combination of variables, has a power, and has numbers as well. So what do? First thing is you don't freak out. You're looking for the like terms. You're looking for things that are the same. If you go down the line, you'll see you have a 7a. Do you have any other a's? You have a minus 9a, so you'll take that with the sign of minus, so you have 7a minus 9a, and you'll do a function in between them, which gives you minus 2a. Next, you have the 2a squared. Do you have any other powers? Looking down the line, you don't have any other powers, it's just that, so you will rewrite that at the end on its own. Moving on, plus 6ab. Do you have any combinations of a times b with a number in front of it, except that one? No, so you'll have to rewrite it in the end. If you did, you will have to do a function, but you don't. And finally, you have the numbers, minus 3 plus 8. Simple arithmetic, minus 3 plus 8 or 8 minus 3 is 5. So you will go down in the end and you will just rewrite what you had to begin with, that you haven't done any functions in between. So 2a squared plus 6ab, and you will add the ones that you just solved, the minus 2a plus the 5, and that is it. It doesn't matter in which order you will rewrite the terms in the end, as long as you rewrite all of them and you don't forget any. I always say write firstly the ones that you haven't done any functions in between, and write last the ones that you have done a function, so you don't forget any. You can always double check. So the order, remember, is relevant as long as you write all of them. You can pretty much summarize and say that there's two main rules and guidelines when it comes to solving the expressions to collect the like terms. First of all, you take the terms that are the same, that have the same values in them, the same powers and so on, and you will treat them and do the function in between them that's been shown by the signs in between them, adding, subtracting, dividing or taking away. And secondly, whatever term does not have a function with same term, you just rewrite it in the end, and that's just simply it. So now I'm going to give you two examples. I'm going to put them on the screen and I'm going to ask you to pause the video in a second, try them, and then I'll give you the answers. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I'm going to put the answers on the screen now. I hope you got them right. If you got them wrong, it's okay. Try again. Rewatch the video if you need to. I actually would suggest to rewatch the video to make sure that the idea gets solidified in your brain. And I want to say thank you very much for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment with what you would like to see in the future. Make sure you subscribe so you become part of the online community, and hit the notification bell to get a notification every time I upload, because I will be uploading weekly. I really enjoyed making this video. I hope you liked it too. So thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one.